my signal. So Monday the 19th. But is it really? Is it day? So I don't know, because it's irrefutable, irreversible. People don't have to wear masks if they don't want to. You see, everywhere is open. It's all gone. But the virus is still here, and I don't think the virus is going anywhere, to be fair. I don't think the virus. How do you? Long time. Vaccines, I will be getting the booster jab as and when they ask for Facebook. You got me. But yeah, so a Freedom Day. But Transport Hub. Oh, Transport Hub. I saw your pictures on the people Freedom Day. Feel about that, because I went shopping today and new other bits and pieces. I can't really see with these glasses on. And I wore a mask. I still feel like I need to protect myself from others. Because technically I am still clinical. So, but it's a choice now. It's no longer mandatory now. Regardless, this is what do you do? Bear in mind, that gives me some protection from them, and obviously them from me in case I cough or in case I've got it. And I'm asymptomatic. Who's that? Someone knows me, and I could be asymptomatic. I don't know, but I do try and test on about 2 or 3 times a week. You see, so how does everyone feel about Freedom Day? Is it too little, too late, or is it, too much, too soon? How do you feel about it? Let me know in the comment section. Do you feel like the whole thing has been dealt with amazingly, or do you feel like the whole thing has been a complete clusterfuck from start to finish? Let me know. I mean, I've got my own views and opinions. Most of you know what my views and opinions are, but I'm going to let you know anyway. I think that it has been a complete clusterfuck from start to finish. Too little, way too late. And most of the things that were implemented were my idea anyway. But months after I actually suggested them, But it's a tough one, because although I think Boris Johnson is a liar, and I think personally he's an absolute pillock, and Matt Hancock, when he was Health Secretary, made a lot of cock-ups, including a cock-up his helper, right? I don't envy the job he had, or has got, Boris Johnson, because he has it from all directions. He's literally dealing with something brand new. He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's had to deal with it. And this is what I've been half forgiving him for this whole time. Because I wouldn't want to have that kind of responsibility on my shoulders. Because on one side of the coin, he's being told by medical experts, not just SAGE, but countless other scientists and medical professionals, that he's in lockdown now, and completely ending it is a bad idea because of the variants. We're not talking about Loki, we're talking about COVID variants, right? So I understand where they're coming from. So he's getting it from them. Equally, he's getting it from the side of people that are literally sick to death of lockdown. They're sick of it. They just want to have their freedom back. They're sick of wearing masks. They're sick of restrictions. They're sick of absolutely everything COVID related that takes away something that they possibly didn't want to do in the first place, but because they can't do it, they want to do it. So he's had a lot of shtick from both sides to implement it and take it away. So I can understand the stress that he's been put under. And I think personally that if he didn't give a toss about what the left wing thought and what whingy people thought, I personally think if he had a bit more of a backbone to start with in this pandemic, it could have been dealt with a damn sight quicker. And the reason why I mentioned variants is because a virus will mutate every time it goes from one person to another. That's just what viruses do. What they look for though in variants is a major change in that mutation, you see. And all it takes really is for the virus to go to someone who has been vaccinated, for it to mutate and adapt and then become immune to your immunity. Those lovely little antibodies that you've got, it will go from person to person. Eventually, there will be a variant that is resistant to vaccine. And this is what scares the life out of me. Because even though they have vaccine now, and they can tweak the formula relatively quickly to get a new one out to give to the masses, it still scares me of how quick it can actually pass from one person to another. And I know there's a lot of COVID deniers out there, and I respect your opinion, sort of, because everyone's entitled to their opinion. There's a lot of anti-vaxxers out there, and to be honest with you, I kind of respect where you're coming from, because you don't want something in your system which is brand new. You want to wait and see and all this, that and the other. I get you. But at this point, right, my personal opinion, and it's just my opinion, you don't have to like it, just respect the fact that I'm allowed to have my opinion, okay? At this point, if you choose not to have the vaccine, not through any medical reason which prevents you from having it, but if you choose not to get the vaccine and you end up getting sick and you end up in intensive care or you die, then personally, at this point, I don't care, because you've chosen to put yourself in that position. I didn't think I would ever get to the point where I wouldn't care about a human life, but if you choose to not have the vaccine, which will prevent you from dying, and then you end up dying because you didn't have the vaccine, then I genuinely don't care. But again, I understand why people don't want it. I see the logic there. You don't want something in your system which is new, relatively untested. You know, they've had to invent it, basically. You know, so I understand it. But personally, I trust it. So let me see some of these comments, because I've had a lot of trolls lately. I have had a lot of trolls lately, but that's fine. Wow, I've got quite a few. So Roy West says, hi, how you doing, R2D2? Yeah, I was going a bit R2D2 on you because my signal was shockingly bad. Ross McGarry says, how you doing? I'm alright, mate. Ain't no bother. We're still wearing the mask and social distancing. The virus is far from over, this is very true. And Bojo is trying to please people and going to end in tears by this time of summer. I'm going to give you my predictions on this very soon. Sam Stevens says most people in Iceland this morning were wearing a mask, and the majority who weren't had sunflower lanyard. Okay, fair enough. Chris, why is Boris Johnson saying lockdown is coming? I haven't heard him say lockdown is coming. It's like saying winter is coming. If you watch Game of Thrones, you know it's coming. Wish I noticed you when you were driving. Yeah, well, it happens. To be honest with you, after I saw your last batch of photos, I thought, let me have a look out for Jack. And I thought, yeah, well, I didn't see you, but you clearly caught me. Afternoon, Chris. I hate the media saying Freedom Day. Yeah, so do I, actually. Because it's not like much had changed, really. I mean, I can still do my shopping. I know a lot of people suffered with their jobs and such, but it was a necessary evil. And as much as people hate it, as much as I dislike lockdown, I am actually in favour of them because they do actually work. It's not Freedom Day for the vulnerable. it could be death sentence in my own opinion. Yes, Stuart, bus driver, I completely 100% agree with you. Easing everything right now, I think, is a bad move. But again, that's my opinion. Good morning. What is that? Oh, Sam Hurst. Samantha Hurst. Good morning to you. Yeah, morning. Hello, hope you're okay. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, so, I can't find it so many times. I can't read all of them because I can't really see with these Ray-Bans on. Got my Ray-Ban. Had a haircut today. Liking the haircut. The beard trim. Feeling fresh. I'm feeling good. But yeah, so this is what I think's going to happen. So Boris Johnson said that it is irrefutable and is absolutely unequivocally not going to go back into lockdown. And, it's irreversible. I don't want to put the country back into a national lockdown. It's not going to happen. Blah, 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 is what he says. However, he hasn't said that he isn't going to reintroduce a local council-based tier system, which is literally independent of government and run by the local authority. So, as there won't be an official national lockdown, I personally think that when the shit hits the fan, and we're going to find out within the next 2 weeks whether the shit has hit the fan or not, I think he's not going to put in another national lockdown. I think he's going to say it's down to the responsibility of the local council authorities to put in wherever, I'm not going to say restrictions, let's find another word, to put in extra precautionary measures to reduce the spread of COVID-19. That's what I think. Now, whether they put in a restriction for the, not closure of premises, but the opening hour restrictions, some local authorities, I think, might say shops can open and close at a certain time. I think that within some bus companies, for example, I think or within TfL specifically, I think TfL will say you have to keep wearing a mask unless you are exempt. I don't know. Possibly. I'm not going to say that is a fact. I think in enclosed spaces still you should wear some kind of protection unless you are exempt. I mean, if you're shopping, do you know what? I get it. It's not a tight enclosed space. But if you're on a train or a tube, or a bus, and you've got people right up to your face, breathing all over the back of your neck, coughing into their hands, touching the handrails, just spreading dirt and God knows what everywhere anyway. I think, personally, that yes, I think some kind of face covering should be mandatory on public transport. And another thing I think should be mandatory on buses is I think the bus companies made a big boo-boo, because I can quite easily walk into a shop and be able to sanitize my hands with an alcohol-based gel of some kind to kill whatever virus or bacteria is lurking on my skin. Why bus companies haven't put these gel dispensers on buses as you enter is beyond me. I don't get it. So we all know that if you've seen the video, I disinfect my cab and I sanitize my hands regularly, and the cabs of these buses are cleaned out thoroughly in the morning, or they're supposed to be. That's something which is a bit of a touchy subject with me at the moment. But the cabs for the drivers are relatively clean. Now, we check the buses in the morning to make sure everything's fine. We have to touch the bells and ring the bells, but we don't know whether or not the bells, the buttons of the bells or the handrails have been cleaned by the cleaners. We don't know this. All we know is that the cab has been cleaned. So I don't really want to have to start touching things, but I have to start touching things in order to make sure they work. So just as an added bit of protection, why did bus companies, or TfL for that matter, not say to bus companies, every passenger that boards your bus needs to sanitize their hands before they enter the bus or as they get on the bus, and there could be another dispenser for when they leave the bus so they can sanitize their hands after touching things. Or, just throwing it out there, TFL, if you're watching this, put gel dispensers or hand sanitizer at the bus stop. Yeah, there's an idea. I can go to Denmark Hill train station and they have a gel dispenser on each platform. In fact, multiple hand sanitizing stations on each platform. Why can we not have that either on the bus at the entrance and the exit, or and at the bus stop? I mean, for all the money TfL was spent and spunked, I personally think that although that would probably cost a small fortune covering the whole of London, I think it personally would be money well spent and could quite easily help to prevent the spread of infection. But again, this is just my opinion. I'm a nobody. You know, who am I? But I genuinely think there'll be some kind of local based tier system going back in by the end of August. And that's my new prediction. You know, I've laid off the predictions over the last few months, and I haven't been going live anywhere near as much as I have been, because I've been working and my hours have been crap, shift wise. This is why no one's really seen me much over the last few weeks. But it is Freedom Day, so what do you reckon? Do you enjoy the fact that you can go out and do what you want unrestricted? Or do you feel uncomfortable? Do you know, are you in a place where mentally, if you go into a group of people and you've got some people wearing a mask and it's literally not covering their face, it's a beard warmer, or it's being used to, you know, keep your lips warm. You know, it's what annoys me when people wear the mask and it's under their nose. For me, that's like me putting on a pair of boxers and having my willy hanging over the top. You know, what is the point? It drives me mad. If you're going to wear it, damn it, wear it properly. If you're not going to wear it, then don't fucking wear it. But if you're going to wear it the way it's supposed to be worn. But it's a choice whether you wear it or not. And this is what I'm getting at. This is Freedom Day. You know, I'm actually quite excited to see things pick up in the news. We're not talking about virus, but I'm talking about the economy picking up. You know, as more shops and theatres are opening and people can go to the pub and stand at the bar and have a drink and do the things that they miss doing, you know, it'd be nice to start hearing a little bit of good news. Like, you know, businesses are taking more money, they're recuperating their losses, and they'll be able to employ more people and people will be able to get jobs back, you know, and I'm looking forward to a lot of good news. But unfortunately, we all know that with good always comes some bad. And I think the spread over the next 4 or 5 weeks is going to be bad. And I think the death rate is going to jump back up into the hundreds within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I genuinely hope I'm wrong, but that's just what I think. And the people that would be dying from it would be people aged between 18 and 25, because these are the ones that like to do all of their research on YouTube University, you know, because they seem to think that do the research means watching some crackpot talk about vaccines and why they shouldn't get it. You know, listen to the professionals, don't listen to someone who says it got a magnet in it. It doesn't. I tried this. I tried it. It doesn't work. If you have had any vaccine and you have a magnet stick to you, put talcum powder on your arm, then try and stick the magnet to you. It's not going to work. If it sticks to you, it's because you're genuinely sticky. Go and have a shower. Honestly, conspiratards, it drives me mad. But other than that, you know, I do wish everyone has an absolutely fantastic day. The weather is great at the moment, but we have got rain clouds above and it should start piddling down with rain within the next couple of hours. But, you know, it is what it is. That's great British weather. And fingers crossed, and I hope to God I'm wrong about everything. Oh yes, by the way, thanks for reminding me. It is Sarah's Random Video's birthday today. So what I'm going to say is happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Sarah's Random Videos. Happy birthday to you. And many more. So I hope I'm wrong about everything. I don't want there to be loads and loads of infection. I really do hope people have a lot of common sense and they do the right thing. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. Think twice before doing something, before going to a party with loads of people, even though I really want to go and have a drink. I really do. I'm just worried about other people not having any personal hygiene about them. You know, people that don't wash their hands after they go to the toilet, people that don't use hand sanitizer after touching stuff, and just things not being clean in general. I think this pandemic has turned a good majority of the nation into borderline OCD when it comes to cleanliness, which is a good thing and a bad thing in a way. But I swear, I genuinely hope I'm wrong about absolutely everything, and I do want everything to be fine and that everything will balance out, the virus will go away, and we will all live quite happily without having to worry about it for the rest of our days. That's what I would love. So if you are one of these people that are going to go out and do exactly what you want, please do it well, enjoy yourself, but be careful. Happy Freedom Day, and I'll catch everyone on the next one. Mwah.